Waylon. Hey, sleepyhead. Hi. Hi. Aw. Morning, everybody. Morning, Mia. Morning, William, Rosie. Oh. So today's recipe is in the book that I wrote, and this is under the snack sessions. I'm going to make this because now Mia is starting to get hungrier and she needs a little extra snacks in between. So I'm using 100% pure pumpkin puree. I'm going to do a combination of coconut flour and almond flour. The almond flour will give her some protein, and the coconut will give her the omegas that she wants and the fats. I'm doubling the recipe, so I'm also going to use 2 eggs, some cinnamon, which is anti-inflammatory, and rosemary extract, which will help to preserve these a little bit longer. And then I also have citric acid, which is good also for helping to preserve. I'm going to use just a tiny bit into this big recipe. All right, so all we're going to do is combine all the ingredients and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is add in the dry ingredients, mix those up. So I'm going to have half a cup of almond flour, and to that I'm going to add the rest of coconut flour and combine that together. All right, so that makes 1 cup. And to that, I'm going to add some cinnamon. I'm going to use half of a teaspoon. I found these on Amazon. I absolutely love them. These are magnetic, and you can put on the different ingredients, what they are, or if they don't have a label, it comes with the label. If your particular one doesn't have a label for it, it also gives you a chalk pen so you can write what your ingredient is, and then they just stick onto whatever is metal. I put mine onto my fridge just to clear up some space. Okay, so that is half of a tablespoon of cinnamon. And then I'm going to also do half of a tablespoon of the citric acid, which is completely safe for your dog. I would never put anything in here that is not 100% safe for her. And that, along with the rosemary extract, will keep this more shelf stable. Now, mind you, this is not commercial grade, so it will go bad if you don't keep it in the fridge. And sometimes I'll do double recipes and put some in the freezer, and that way she always has some. So I do 1 dropper of this. That's the rosemary extract. It smells good too. It's good for their breath. As much as I love Mia, I do not like her breath when it's stinky. And to that, we're going to do half of a cup of the pumpkin. Now, I'm not a baker, so I'm not doing exact measurements, but as close as I can get it. Yes, I could dirty up another utensil, but I'm not going to. Okay. So that's the pumpkin. And then to that, you're going to add the eggs. And since she is pregnant, she needs extra calcium for the fetuses so that it's not stealing from her bones. And because I still have puppies who are under a year old, they could use the extra calcium too. So I'm going to crush it up. Yes, you could put it into a blender if you wanted. I just crushed it up in my hand. Oh, I said I was going to double the recipe, so I'm going to go ahead and add back one more cup of flour and another half a cup of the pumpkin puree. So that will be a cup of the pumpkin puree and 2 cups of flour. You can also use wheat flour if you want to. I choose not to put any type of wheat into my dog's food because they are genetically not designed to process it. I don't believe that it's the best option for them. And that's the difference between making homemade and buying commercials. You can choose the flours and the ingredients, and you can customize this for your dog for maximum nutrition. So I'm going to add back another half. I forgot we were doubling this. Tomorrow is Christmas, so I'm going to actually give some of these out to my neighbors as a nice little neighborly gift. And then 1 more cup of the flour. Okay, now the recipe is correct. And then you just mix it all up. And I usually end up adding a little tiny bit of water to this at the end because it makes it easier to spread into these molds that I have that I'm going to show you. All right, so I've added the water and now you can see the consistency. It's pretty thick still, and we're going to turn on the oven to 350. And I got these really cute molds. They also have different shapes, but I like these ones. Are little doggy bones, and they're silicone, so you don't have to spray them or anything. You just put them on top of one of your cookie sheets. And I got 4 of them, so I can double it up, the recipe. And you're just going to spread these in, and this will take a while if you want them all. And I want them to look nice and clean, and you just use this and I just squish. What's the right word? I said squish. It's not even a word. I smush it down into the mold and make sure that all the air bubbles are out, and then I'll go back and clean up the edges. So I'm just going to do one so you can see what that looks like. So all the kids are, I call my dogs kids, all my kids right now are all watching me. They know I'm making something delicious for them. Does it smell good, Mia? It smells like pumpkin and coconut. 2 of her favorite ingredients. Well, as I've already proven from the last video, she will pretty much eat anything. I don't think she's ever turned her nose up to food. Most dogs are like that, but Cavies especially. Most of them are food motivated. William, our youngest one, is actually, his reward for going outside to housebreak him is getting a second walk. Like right after he goes, he wants to go on another victory lap, as I call it. Very interesting. He's quite a funny little guy. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm just cleaning it up, making sure it's in all the little crevices. There, that looks good. I'm gonna bring the camera over so you can take a look. You can see. So I'm gonna fill all these up, and then we're going to bake them for about 30 minutes, and then we'll let them cool for a good hour. It's almost the end of Mia's 3rd week, and I've noticed some big changes in her. She's starting to show her belly. Hey, William. Hi, Rosie. You guys are in on it too. So her belly's starting to show a little. She's getting a little plumper, and she definitely has more of an appetite. So I'm giving her a little extra with her 2 meals. I have not started with the 3rd meal yet, but we did start giving her those treats that I showed you earlier in the week that we made. And also, I think it's a good idea now to start implementing some more organ meat to give her the extra iron that she needs. So we are going to go shopping for organ meat, and that will be extra good snacks for her, little bites of that in between. Even if you're vegan, you don't like meat, this isn't about us. This is about her and what her body needs, because she is a canine. She's not human. So she needs that for her, so that she can be as healthy as she can possibly be, so that she can have the healthiest possible litter. And you can see she just loves her belly rubbed. So this is going to be our last grooming session for Mia. She's going to go get groomed later today. She's going to get the full spa treatment because she deserves it. But in the meantime, we're going to groom little William. He has had a grooming for a while. It's been about a good month, and he needs as good scrubbing, and so does Sophie. But we're going to start with, you can do this any way you want, but I like to start with trimming their paws first and their nails and giving them a good brushing. So you can get one of these for their paws. And you could, if you want to, you could cut their lines with it, you know, make them all nice and shapely. I am going to let him grow and see how long his hair can get. So we're just going to do underneath his pads and clean that up. And then we're also going to trim his nails. And then after that, I also have this, it's called the Claw Master. It's basically a filer. And I like to file them down so that they're not sharp. There's no sharp edges to cut me or someone else they're saying hello to. And then I also have, it's called a Furminator. And this is fantastic for getting the underneath coat so they're not shedding. And then we have a slicker brush. I love the slicker brush after we're all done. It just helps to comb them out and make them nice and smooth. And this also helps with detangling, especially the ears. Mia, her ears get tangled when she eats. She gets food in it, so this helps to detangle that. Also, I've noticed the last litter that when she was cuddling with them, they would get into her ears because it's a nice warm place, especially when they're really small, when they're brand newborns. They'll get into her ears and use that almost like a blanket, and it ends up knotting up her ears. So this really does help. So we're going to start with little Rosie. Excuse me, Mia. We're going to start with little Rosie, and I'll just show you how we do it. We'll start with the paw. You're a good girl, baby. Sit right over here with me. Good girl. So we're just going to turn this on. And all you want to do is get up underneath the fur and expose her pads again. Oh, it's okay, sweetie. I know it's been a while. It's okay. Okay. Here, sniff. Sometimes if they're scared, have them sniff it. It's okay. And then have them touch it. See? That's not so scary, is it? Okay, maybe we'll come back to her in a bit. Maybe she sees her brother do it, she'll do it. William, come here. Good boy, you are. Oh, and here's our guest star of the week. This is Waylon. Say hello, Waylon. Waylon is the sire of William and Mia's future litter. This is the boyfriend I was telling you about. Isn't he handsome? He is a Bremen Cavalier. He's a beautiful dog. He's very sweet. Okay. Feel it? Sniff it? That's all they need to do. I know, it's been like a month. What is this weird, crazy thing? I'm just gonna touch it with it. It's okay, touch. Okay. Well, we're going to cut underneath their paws, just the fur. We're not gonna actually go deep, just a little bit. You're okay. Good boy. Okay. So after we do that, then we're going to trim his nails up. With this, I would suggest you look on some YouTube channels if you don't know how to cut dogs' nails, especially the black ones. They show you how to cut the dogs' nails that have black nails. You cut only until you see, I'm looking at Rosie because she's got the black nails. You only cut until you see the white dot in the middle, and then you stop. If you haven't cut their nails in a while, you're not going to be able to cut very much off. Each time you cut it, that part will get shorter and shorter. And then I'm going to finish up with filing their nails. And it looks like this. And I know this they're not afraid of at all, because it doesn't make hardly any sounds. You hear that? And all you're going to do is stick the nail in there, and it will just file it for you so it's nice and smooth. All right, so we're going to take care of that, and then we will be back in a little bit. I think I need to get them a treat to bribe them. All right, so now I'm going to give them a bath. I like to give them a bath in the sink. It's easy for my back, and I've got the sprayer right here so I can the nozzle and move it around. And I found this really great shampoo that I've been using. It's a organic dog shampoo. It's lavender, oatmeal, and coconut oil. And coconut oil, as I've talked about with nutrition, how great it is for internally, but it's also really good for the skin. It helps with itching and dryness, and it moisturizes, and it's really gentle, and it really hydrates their fur. And they have a nice, beautiful, shiny coat. You can see I'm pretty much out. I probably need to order some more. Also, when I'm bathing, I like to use cotton balls to put in their ears, and then a nice towel to dry them off. And we're going to make sure that the water is warm. We don't wash them in cold water, just like you don't like to take a cold shower. And then afterwards, after they're dry, I'll put the flea medication on them. All right, so we're going to warm up the water, and I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, so we're going to give Rosie her bath. And like I showed you, the one that I use, it has oatmeal, lavender, and organic coconut oil. So it's going to be really soothing and hydrating for her and make her coat really shiny. I haven't started taking them to the groomer yet. They will. They somewhere around 6 months, they say, for the first one. I've checked with my groomer, but they said that because they don't really need a cut yet, it's not worth it. Just groom them at home. So that's what we've been doing. Nice and warm. And before we get her ears wet, I'm gonna put a little cotton ball in there. You can hear my little puppies over there playing. William already had his bath, so now he's acting really crazy. Running around. Okay. All right, guys, hush. So now I'm just going to put some of this on her. And then start rubbing and give her a really good scrub. She likes this. Oh, yeah. Good girl, Rosie. Yes. Oh, look at her. She's helping. Thank you, Rosie. Yes. Oh yeah, you like that underneath, huh? Right around the armpits, in the belly. Oh yeah. That probably feels good. Those are probably areas that you can't get to. Now, I don't wash around her face. For that, we'll just use a cotton ball and some water. And get your tail. Yes, good girl. Oh, does that feel good? Really get in there. Yes, look at that, nice and lathery. What I like about this, not only the smell and how clean the ingredients are, but look at how much this lathers up. There's no chemicals in this. This is your reward for letting me do her paws. She does not like it, her paws trimmed. We're gonna have to work on that one with her, but she's still a puppy, so. You can hear William and Waylon playing together. They're goofing off. Father and son. I guess this would be the equivalent of them going out there throwing a football if they were humans. Okay. Good girl. All done, Rosie Posy. Rosie Posy. Now we're going to just rinse you off. Remember to keep the water warm, not hot, but warm. Just like you don't want to take a cold shower. This will feel good. Good girl. Let me turn you the other way, baby doll. Come on this way. There you go. Thank you. And head up, baby girl. Head up. Head up. Head up. Good girl. Good baby. Whoops, didn't mean that. Sorry. Just that one more time, I just want to get your chest area without drowning my kitchen. And one more time, just want to get your chest area. Good girl. There, that's what I wanted. Get all that stuff off of you. Okay. Alright, I think you're nice and clean. Now I'm going to take a cotton ball. That's half a cotton ball. I'm going to take a cotton ball and I'm going to clean her eyes. I will split it in two because one for each eyeball. And I just want to turn around so they can see what we're doing, sweetie. I want to make sure you don't put any soap or anything near their eyes. So just cotton and water. And from corner to out. Good girl. Let's do the other one. Good girl. Down to, look at that, start. Good girl. And then I'm also going to use one, I'm going to split it in half for the ears. Cavaliers or any dog that has, we're going to pop that out. Any dog that has long ears, you need to be mindful that they are prone to ear infections. So make sure you clean their ears out regularly and protect them from water. Here's the other half. Okay, and we're gonna do this here. Good girl. And then the last cotton ball, we're gonna dry the ear really well. Thank you, Rosie. Why do I use separate cotton balls for each ear and eye. That's so that if she were to be getting an infection, I wouldn't be cross-contaminating, getting an infection from one to the other. And then these really cute towels I found on Amazon for dogs. We're gonna start here. They do have some that I saw that I might get in the future that look like a robe that you just Velcro on and they can walk around with it. We'll see. That might be kind of fun. I don't know, maybe as a birthday gift? I'm not quite sure whose birthday, mine or yours, huh? Yeah.
I look at you and it's easy to see. You are that someone I've been trying to meet. I got your number, won't you pick up the phone? Don't leave me hanging on the dial tone. Think back to the night that we met. Jumping in the pool, talk to you, dripping wet. Nervous when I speak, so I trick on my tongue. Never thinking you would be my number one.
You want another round? He cries.
When I speak, so I trip on my tongue. Never thinking you.
Baby in the family. They're getting you nice and dry. This is actually getting most of this water off of you, Rosie. After we're done, I'll let her run around for a little bit, and then we're gonna go upstairs and brush their teeth and finish blow drying their ears and anything else that might still be really wet. Okay. So I do this once a month, give them a good bath. And in between, I just use those charcoal wipes that I've shown you. And this helps to keep everything nice and clean without overdoing it. Remember, your dogs cannot have a bath more than every few weeks at the very most. It's gonna dry out their skin and their hair and be really itchy. And then this is the time when after they're all dried, then I put the flea medication on. Because we want to, definitely now, we want to make sure and protect Mia. So we don't want to make sure she gets no fleas. She cannot have flea medication while she's pregnant. So I stopped giving her her flea medication about 2 weeks before she had her heat cycle. So that way it was out of her system, which you can talk to your vet about that, but from what I understand, the vets I've spoken to, that better safe than sorry. If you can avoid it at all costs, avoid areas where you think your dog, while it's pregnant or might become pregnant, get fleas, such as a dog park or maybe the woods or grassy areas that aren't treated. All right, we're gonna let her run around now for a few minutes. Well, are we drying off? What are we doing? You guys goofing off? You look nice and fresh, don't they? Don't they, Waylon? Nice and fresh. What in the world are you doing out there, Rosie? Okay, so Mia went and got groomed, and Rosie and William are dry. Pretty much. We might have to dry his ears a little bit more. Oh yes, my sweet babies. So now we're going to do a couple of things. I want to use a Furminator, and this is going to help get through the undercoat. I'm going to show it on William because I don't think Rosie really needs it. Okay, good boy. Oh, look at you. Yes. I'm just going to demonstrate. Thank you. You can see that right there. So he needs a little brushing there to help him. So we're just going to brush him. Oh, you like this? What a sweet angel pie you are. Yes. Oh, good boy. Yes. And if you do this once a month, it'll help get underneath that undercoat. It'll help with the shedding. They'll feel so much better, especially when change of season, when summer comes. Oh my goodness. He's really gonna need some help, right? Do you want some of this too? Hi, baby. So I'm gonna continue to do that off camera, but I also wanted to show you the slicker brush. This is good for his ears. His ears are a little wet, so I'm not sure about him, but I'll show you definitely on Rosie. And here's Mia. And what I do is I hold the base of their ear so it doesn't pull, and I work from the bottom. Thank you, angel pie. And then you can go up. You want to make sure you get the knots out, and this will get your knots out very nicely. And I like to use the one that has a little bit of the rubber feet on the edges, so that way it doesn't tear at their skin. And this you could use every day, the slicker brush, and this will make them really shiny. This is the one our groomer recommended to me because I do have trouble with Mia's ears. She's always getting food in them. They get tangled up, as I've mentioned. But I don't want to cut her ears. I love her long ears. Hi, my baby. There she is. Hello, angel pie. Something I just recently purchased for her, and I'll show this to you in another video when she's eating. It's really funny, but it helps so much. It's like a little bonnet that goes over her head, and it pulls her ears back and protects it, so that way the wet food doesn't get in her ears. Okay, so with Rosie, I think she just needs a slicker brush. We're going to test you on the firm nail, but I don't think you need it, sweetie pie. Let me take a look. No, not really. There's only a couple of hairs. So because she has a different type of coat, even though she's a Cavalier, she has more of a short coat with the feathering. The feathering is like here along her feet, how that gets really long. So I think for her, just a nice little brush is all she's going to need after her bath. There you go, my angel pie. And let me see. Okay, bye-bye. She's done being my model. You like being brushed. Look at you. And the next thing I want to do is, Rosie, did you take the toothbrush? I think she took the toothbrush. I'm gonna have to find it. Is I use an enzymatic toothpaste with them, and the enzyme will actually help to break down the bacteria, the plaque, and the tartar. If I can find my toothbrush. Rosie, did you take it, my dear? Oh, no, you didn't. I do blame her because she does take a lot of things. So I use, they do have toothbrushes out there just for dogs that slip over your finger. I use a charcoal one that's for humans because that's what I had, a whole bunch of extra when I went to Costco. So I just want to get the toothbrush wet. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this on. I think it has like a peanut butter taste, so he should like this. Let me read. Poultry flavor. Oh, even better. Yeah. And if you train your dog when they're really little, they should take to this pretty well. Let's see. You want me to brush your teeth too, Waylon? Okay, say cheers. Oh, you're okay. Good boy. Sorry, did my little nail catch you? And you only have to do each side for like 10-15 seconds. As you can see, he's still learning. Let me do some more. He likes the taste of it though. It's just a matter of the brushing, yeah. But if you do this several times a week, he'll get used to it. And in between, I do give them bones. His teeth look really good. Okay, maybe you brush your own teeth. There you go. Yeah, pull on it. Good. Good, yes. he is brushing his teeth. That is funny. You are the first dog I've ever owned who's brushed his own teeth. Good boy, yes. Okay, I'm going to continue brushing their teeth. I'm going to link this and everything that I've talked about today for grooming down below. And maybe we'll eventually get downstairs after he's done playing with this. And I also want to show you the cookies, how they turned out. All right, so this is the end of week 3 for Mia. Come here, baby girl. Mia, come here. Come here. You're okay. Come here. Come here. Don't be shy. This is the end of week 3 for Mia. So she's starting to show. The other thing is she's starting to do is urinate more. So you might have to take your dog out for more little small walks so that they can urinate, because you don't want them to hold it and get a urinary tract infection. And so that means you're going to need to increase her water intake as well. He's really brushing his teeth. He's holding this and he's like maneuvering. It must feel good for him because he's still teething. So she's starting to urinate more and her belly's starting to show, and she's starting to increase her caloric needs. So that's why we made snacks this week. So, oh, you don't want to share the toothbrush? Is that yours? We're going to go downstairs and I will show you what the cookies look like. Aw, very nice, Mia. Yes, your Rosie's nice and clean. We gave her a bath, huh? Okay, so this is the end of week 3, and these are the cute cookies that we've made. They are pumpkin, egg, coconut and almond flour, a little bit of cinnamon, and then I made a drizzle over the top that's peanut butter. These smell so good, don't they? Peanut butter and almond milk, and then I put it back into the oven for just a few minutes to help to dry it up a little bit. And also I used the shell from the egg for extra calcium, especially because this little one here needs it. Would you like to try, Mia? Oh, how about you, Waylon? Would you like to try? Oh, yeah. What about you? Oh, good boy, William. What about you, Rosie? She's down underneath you. Please, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, thumbs up. And if you want to continue to follow Mia as she is in her pregnancy journey, please hit the subscribe button. Next week, we are going to talk about setting up the whelping box, what we need for emergency whelping. As I've told you, I'm a nurse and I'm also a certified pet nutritionist, so I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about and tips and tricks that I have discovered along the way to make this a smoother journey for you and your baby. All right, you have a wonderful week. Do you want another one? Do you want another one, Rosie? Good girl. What about you, Waylon? Do you want another one? Do you want another one, William? Bye-bye.